And Seth Walder, who's an analytics guy for ESPN, proposed a trade. Johnny Newton, a third rounder, and a 2027 seventh rounder for Trey Hendrickson. To me, this is too rich. If you do Johnny Newton and a seventh, I can wrap my head around it. If you do a third and a seventh and maybe add something extra in there, I can wrap my head around it. Mm-hmm. But I think Johnny Newton, a third and a seventh is
too much.
You agree too much?
Mm-hmm.
Professor Landini, we start with you. We're going to open these phone lines up, 800-636-1067, 800-636-1067. Hendrickson for Johnny Newton, a third and a seventh. Is that too much, Mr. Lamphill?
I kind of think so. I think that, Newton's got a lot of promise. I'd rather they stick with him, keep him around.
I tend to agree with you. Now, they're different guys, right? Newton's an interior pass rusher.
Sure.
But it's also the first time he's going to be healthy in 2 seasons. I think, and you got him under team control for 3 years.
Yep.
I don't know if Jeff's answering phones. Jeffrey, chime in if you can.
Too much. I'm not giving up our youth. Let's just build with what we got.
All right. It's a clean sweep of too much.
Yeah, White Brian.
White Brian?
Oh, he's a Giant fan. He don't care.
Well, he could still chime in, I suppose. White Brian, put the meth down. Answer the question.
Damn.
Make the trade.
Really? Why?
He wants to hurt the team.
You're that close to
care.
a Super Bowl. He puts you over the top.
I mean, White Brian's got a point. He's got a point, B. I don't think it's crazy to think that. 800-636-1067. I believe Shane is on line 1. Shane, would you make the trade?
Hey, absolutely. Hey, what's going on, fellas? Hey, first of all, JP, I got to give you credit, man. I was going through the TV when I was back over in stateside, and I was watching your TV show, All Ears, man, and that's fantastic. You do a great job on that, brother. Now I know what
Thanks
they call All Ears, by the way. Hey, but you make that trade. You make that trade. Sorry, I had to throw it in there, but you make that trade. We're one player away from on that defense to get. We've not had 17 sacks in a season and forever. Number 2 is we're on that, and the defense needs help. Our offense is going to be legit. Let's call it what it is, but our defense still is question mark. So you definitely make that trade, and you hope you get that back in return. But yeah, 17 sacks. Can he get 17 sacks here? Who knows? Until it plays out. Hell, he can get hurt as soon as he gets here, knowing the Commanders' history.
That's the problem.
You got to make that trade. You got to make that trade. There's a difference between a pass rusher and an interior defensive lineman. He'll never have 17 sacks in a season. I hate to say it, but I don't see Newton getting 17 sacks in the season at where he's at right now. But no,
the only dude that's ever going to do that. The only dude that's ever going to do that from the interior is Aaron Donald. There's only one of those guys on the planet.
Chris Jones.
Right.
That's Chris Jones. Yeah, you're right. Thanks for the call, Shane. I do think a lot of folks believe they should. I put this on my Facebook page, and I got a ton of comments. The majority, I think, are similar to us, that it's too much. He's just got 3 years left on the deal. I would not be.
Who has 3 years left? Come on, Newton.
Newton has 3 years left on the deal. And Hendrickson is 30. But dude,
think about it.
He helps you a lot right away.
Make the trade, okay? You gotta pay for him too now. Later, he don't want a deal. The thing about it, you have to make the decision on: are you willing to pay him the dollars he gonna want? Because
it's 30
coming up in a couple of years.
It's 30 mil. It's 30 mil, and you still got to deal with Terry. That's the complicating factor to me. Is you still got to get Terry done. Let's go to Dusty. Dusty, would you make the move?
Nah, man, it's a hard pass for me. I believe Newton is a good, solid piece, young piece. As you stated before, we still got, he's under team control for another 3 years. I don't think that would be a good deal at all.
All right, appreciate the call, dude. I want to be clear. If you make a move for Hendrickson, I think it's a good move. The guy has led the NFL in sacks the last 2 years. He's a baller. But I don't think it's as simple as that. You've also got the Terry complication. Elijah is in D.C. Eli, what do you think? Would you make the move?
What's going on? I wouldn't make the move because for a few reasons. One, if your offense, for example, can be up 14, just for an example, and other guys, that helps a defense out immensely. So also, do you want to win one Super Bowl, or do you want to keep your window open for the potential of Super Bowls for years to come? And you have to be conscious of the decisions that you make as you get better to keep as you reaching forward, that you don't mess up some other things financially to make moving forward. You have to be smart, and you got to show to your team that, hey man, we with you, we riding with the team. We drafted our guys because we want them here, and we believe that they are what we need. So if you get them, okay, yeah, you can't be upset, because you want to say I want to swing and make a good decision. So we're going to be behind it if they made the decision, but thinking about the future, I'm not willing to just be able to mortgage a future for the potential of a guy that's 30. And what's the decline look like? We don't know. So you have to be comfortable with his high, you have to be comfortable with his average, and you have to be comfortable with his low. And sometimes people be so focused on a high, you can't. It's more years than just one, shawty. What does 33 look like? Maybe is it a situation where you can move him? Maybe not. And then we'll be like, man, we should have did this and we should have. No, man. They're thinking about, when you pull this arrow, it's about how far can we get it to go, and certain decisions like that kind of take some of the wind from your arrow. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. It's a complicated situation, man. Taking your calls, 800-636-1067, 800-636-1067. ESPN says Washington could offer a package of Johnny Newton, a 2026 third-round pick, and a 2027 seventh-round pick to get Trey Hendrickson. Why would this be appealing to the Bengals? It's immediate help. I would feel differently about this if it was Johnny Newton and a seventh. But Johnny Newton and a third is too much.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Johnny Newton, I think, can ball, man. Let's try Vince is in Akakeek. Vince, you making this move?
No. And I'm not making it for the fact that if we trade for Trey, we got to pay. And Terry need his money. And honestly, we need to pay Laramie as well, especially being that Tunsil can be our next Trent Williams that we let get away. Trent went to San Francisco, having a long career. People are playing longer. You could say the same thing for Trey, but I don't see Trey's longevity being that effective as a defensive end. But Terry is a young, about to be 30. And like I said, I think Laramie can be our next Trent Williams. So, no, I don't trade for Trey, because eventually we got to pay Jaden, and that's we got to figure out the book some kind of way. We got Newton on a rookie deal. Let's make it work.
Smart call. Thank you, Vince. Is that Vinny in Seat Pleasant on line 4? Vinny, be the GM. Are you making that deal to get Trey Hendrickson?
BMitch, JP, Landini, what's up, Aquarium?
What up, bro?
Hey,
What's up, bud?
Man, no, I think it's kind of too rich. You got to be, like the last call, you got to be smart about the situation. What's more prevalent to the team as far as keeping Terry around, paying Terry, or trying to bring Trey over to, I guess you want to say make the defense more stout up front, because the secondary is still going to be kind of, shaky. I know Amos just got drafted, and, we got Harris at the safety and things of that nature, but I think looking at it, going after Jalen Ramsey may be a little better. It may be less costly. And for the simple fact that secondary, like I said, has still a hole inside of it. It needs to be filled. So I don't think the Newton trade for Trey with that third and that sixth is even relevant, to be honest. You got to be smart about things, fellas. I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
All right, man.
Yeah, man, I don't disagree. Well,
Do you think the Cincinnati Bengals offense has been good enough the last 2 years to be like playoff and Super Bowl ready?
I mean, 2 years ago they were in the divisional round. They
2 years ago, but then they've been 9-8 the last 2 years.
Yeah,
and they had Joe Burrow, and they have all those receivers, and they had Trey Hendrickson on that team, and they were 9-8, right?
Yeah.
So I heard my man Shane earlier say, "Oh, we won we one player away, getting me a Super Bowl. No. You're not one player away from a Super Bowl. You need some more spots too. So, no, I wouldn't make the trade right now.